tables. One of the legends a few years ago in poker, of course. Did win a bracelet a couple of years ago, so certainly not a has-been, but a guy who was dominant on the European scene a few years ago. Interesting, a few of these guys, the way they're chatting at the table, especially to someone like Alex when he's got a big stack.
Sounds good.
You know, oh, that's my first 5k of cash. Oh, well, I played some 1k. Certainly not. This is not information you want to give out to someone like Alex Fox.
Definitely not.
And already we saw him raise there with Queen Deuce suited from the big blind against the small blind limp, where I think it was against a player perhaps he respected more. He might not have done that, but he's going to play really aggro on this table.
4.8.
He perceives these guys all just to be ecstatic to get in the money, and a lot of them would have made their biggest cash so far. Nothing wrong with being inexperienced, Simon, but you don't want to mark your card to the
no, definitely not.
Someone like Foxton. And if I'm sat there and they're talking like that, I'm like, right, okay, these guys are going to be scared.
What a time to see the king in the window. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'll do. I flopped quads twice this tournament.
Must be nice.
That would have been a good one for the stream. Doris is like usually proper.
Alex raising again, this time with Jack 6 of diamonds.
Paul peels from the big of the ace-7.
Alex flops a straight draw up and down, and Paul with a pair of 7s. Backdoor spades.
Yeah, a nice flop for both players. Alex with that straight draw, backdoor diamonds. Expect him to bet just jack high. Of course, Paul won't be going anywhere with his pair.
Did have the option to 3-bet out the big blind with his ace, but elected to flat.
Wow, that's a good turn card for Paul. Gives him the nut flush draw. Takes away some of Alex's outs. Question for Alex whether he's going to barrel again here. Now, what I was saying before, this is a spot where he definitely wouldn't normally barrel. If he perceives his opponents are going to be overfolding, then he could.
I think so, yeah.
So this would be very wide. He does check back.
He's watching his opponent.
10 on the river. Not a good run out for Paul's hand. 2 overcards come into his 7.
Well, if you're right and Alex perceives Paul to be weak, he still needs to put in a fair size bet here to get it through.
And that's exactly what he's done, Simon. 1.135. Again, this is a bet that doesn't really make any sense, but he's just banking on that Paul's not going to work that out.
And he's not going to want to. He's not willing to put that in with 4th pair. He knows it's unlikely he had a queen when he c-bet the flop, because he would have bet the turn, but he will be worried about the 10.
Check on turn. Sounds good.
Some players may well have check raised that river with the ace of spades in hand. Very unlike Alex has a flush when he checks back the turn.
Well, that's good. He's giving him all the information he needs.
Okay, so he doesn't bluff these spots. Okay.
Should never ever be imparting that level of information to the table. He's now aware that he got him to lay down the best hand.
Yeah.
Although obviously it was highly likely that he did.
That's the spot Alex is never normally bluffing. I can tell you that for nothing. This is him adjusting to playing in high rollers to playing in main events where you do have a lot of people who've perhaps playing it as their biggest tournament of the year, local tournament, qualifiers and whatnot. I'm not taking anything away from Paul. He's got himself in the money in a 5k, but he's obviously not the same level as the super high roller players. There's no.
Well, immediately, I've not watched much of him before, but now just to watch that he's watching every single player as they act, and he did what a lot of good players do. They don't watch the flop; they watch the opponent.
I mean, under the gun. Ace, queen. James defends the big blind with king 10. And well, she smashes it. Queen 6-3 rainbow. That's about as good as it gets.
How did you know we were getting some beast? Was it just, did they tell you, or? Because you went...
Some beast?
Yeah, you went, how did you know we were getting, like the next...
It's not very nice.
We're talking, of course.
I don't know. I just...
About the fact they got moved here, and they weren't sure why they moved to this feature table. None of them seem to know each other. It's been speculated that we must be getting some big name at the table. Well, that is purely by chance, of course.
Yeah.
The table broke. Alex was the player chosen.
Is your missus still in?
Yep, she's right there.
Doesn't quite work like that. I wish it did work, Simon. We could just choose who we have on the feature table.
That would be a lot more fun.
It looks like she might. How much?
Nice block.
Thank you.
How much?
Alright. Kings.
Block that. She's not got more than you then.
No.
Queens.
I thought I saw a stack of pinks, so maybe it's someone else's.
Aces.
Okay. She better than you yet?
It's I, maybe.
Always has been.
Maybe.
She's got a tough table.
Yeah, it does.
Tom Hall on her right, Hanks on her left.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And Ice Nigel. He's like a sicko. He's the only guy who I know who's rated like 99 on Sharkscope ability.
Who is it?
He's called Ice Nigel. He's like a wizard. He's like that geezer there in the hoodie. Like looks like some older boy, absolute beast.
With the beard?
Wait, which one?
Guy in the hoodie.
What, C4?
The like bluish green
Yeah.
one? Oh, interesting. Oh,
You heard that, Nigel?
what's the name?
Ice Nigel.
I don't think so.
He's like,
What does he play? MTGs?
yeah, but that's his party name. I'm not sure what he does.
Okay, yeah, that sounds a little bit familiar.
This cut is marked.
Be curious.
See here? If you look down it, see here? It's marked. It is.
Not sure.
Yeah, I can't see it, but
I can see
have them
that.
look after the hand.
It is.
You sure about it? We just changed that.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Action to Chris, where he's talking about his part cards and whatnot, and sitting there with aces. Michael, you feel is ripping this in. Doesn't have a lot of fold equity, but needs to get something going. Pair surely good enough with the overlay of the blinds and ante.
All in.
Wow. How much does Chris love that?
Yeah, it kind of does limit his action further behind, but at least he knows he's getting something out of this hand. Makes the
Art
call.
for a reason.
Good luck.
Tables his aces.
That's nice, Nigel. Yeah.
It's actually a little bit strange.
Kind of blue there.
A little concerning.
Glad I didn't stop the deck after I said it's marked.
Yeah, it almost seemed like that's what you were trying to do.
Oh, Michael needs a 5. Well, he needs a lot more than that now. He needs a running 3-4 after Chris flops top set.
4.
Boys.
Alright.
Okay, 4 for now.
5. 4 bar.
Oh.
So close.
Good game.
It was a baby card,
Good game. Good luck.
but it gives Chris top boat. Michael departs in the money, £10,300 for his efforts.
Nice.
He was the happiest, Simon, for a very short
To be
bubble.
fair, the
He only
big
had a
one I
million
know
chips on the bubble.
So I'm happy
Really?
about it.
It was about to be the big blind.
Wait for
There
Kings.
just wasn't no bubble. You
Oh,
were straight away in the
yeah.
money.
This will be good for TV.
12.
Let me have a look on down.
I should be out.
This one is. If you look straight into the light,
Yeah, but I decided to play it like strange against him because I think he's going to punt it. I gave him credit. He's probably one of the only people I flat in that spot with.
yeah, with
It must just be.
But anyway,
three off the mark.
Yeah, exactly. But against some people, you have to just punt it because it's
Wow, that's a name, isn't it?
Ioannis.
Ioannis Angelou Konstas. It's 13 million. Alex Foxton with 12 exactly. Christopher Vernon with 11. Paulina with just under 9. Louis Lambert 7.3. Paul Rigg 5.8. And James Walker with 3.9.
Ioannis Angelou Konstas. That's where the Greeks are sent to test me, Simon.
Yeah. So we're on 80k 160. Average stack around about 8.5 million. Over 50 bigs. I noticed, by the way, it actually the bubble went in level 21. and the average was 50 bigs. And in every millions that you and I have commentated on, it's been level 22. So yeah, this one was ahead of schedule.
You know, people in Nottingham come to punt.
Yeah, like the big blind pumps in 50 bigs. Like,
I only have 20 bigs though.
yeah, but flush the bubble inside.
In level 22. So
In fact, I was just looking at Ioannis's best result. I remember this going on because I'm pretty sure he's friends with one of my friends, and he got 4th in the Crazy 8s at the World Series last year. I remember it as well because Harry Lodge was in the mix. He came 3rd. But interestingly, Michael Turnick, who just busted from the feature table, was also on that final table.
no way.
In an 8,000 runner field. Pretty incredible. But yeah, that was Ioannis's best result. Just over $250,000.
Very nice.
He's just under $1 million in lifetime earnings.
So Lewis and Paul up against each other in this hand. And, well, that was a difference in style of play for Paul. Led out with just king high.
Yeah, raised pre.
Assuming it must be the C-betting, but good to see that.
Again, a little
he
difference.
had that in his arsenal.
Here you see, Natalia heading to the payout desk. See in the foreground, Didi Fast and Andy Black in conversation. See, another person who came to help commentary, Andy Black, in the money.
Did you do some commentary?
He did indeed.
Yeah, I bet that was fun.
It was. It was interesting hearing from Andy. Did quite a few hours with us, actually. He made it through on day 1A, so had a couple of days off.
Where did he finish when he played the main event? Was it 5th?
I think 5th.
Same as Scally. So
yeah.
we have 2 main event final table players here.
Well, we have Ryan Reese still in the field. He, of course, won the main event in 2013. Yeah, Andy's best result, of course, was 5th at the main event for 1.75 million, all the way back in 2005.
Wow.
8, 9?
Yeah, 8 point something.
So Paulina raising on the back with 10-6 off. Alex defends in his big blind with ace-7 of diamonds. Flop is ace-king 6. He's flopped the monster.
He has got the deck on this one. Paulina flops bottom pair. Action is over to her. She is going to stab here. I think one, obviously, as we always say, doesn't expect to get anything better to fold, but can knock out some hands with equity, just a random 8-9, for example, that may not bluff on this board texture. Alex, you would feel Simon with a pretty easy just call here, allow her to keep bluffing. He obviously has that nut draw.
Yeah, the only problem that Paulina's got here is if he's calling, she's not putting him on an ace, she's putting him on a draw.
On the turn. Expect this to check through. As Simon says, Paulina can still beat some hands, draws. If she bets twice, she really has to bet 3 times to put pressure on a weak ace or a king. $1.5 million in the pot. She does wisely check bet 3 on the end. It will look a good card to her because no overcards will come to that 6. She does beat those flush draws. Simon suggests to her possible. No, just a question of whether Alex will check or bet. I think against... he has no idea, I'm sure, of how Paulina plays, but I think he's best off just betting here.
Yeah, he's just decided how much to bet. And here it comes.